Live from New York, it's Ask This Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Ask Engineer. It's me, Lady Ada. I'm the engineer. There's something honking outside. I don't know what it is, even though I'm an engineer. But with me is Mr. Lady Ada, who's on camera control.
Yep.
Maybe you were honking. I don't know. We're here at the Adafruit factory, which is where we do all the engineering, manufacturing, testing, shipping, fulfillment, support. All of that stuff happens here in downtown Manhattan, which is very exciting. And we've got a great show for you tonight with all sorts of news and products and videos. And maybe it's not, we'll know, whatever, it's not out yet. And many other things. Yeah. So tell them what's on tonight's show.
Sometimes I feel like I got to go away. I was hoping they would beep.
Oh,
That's that song. Okay.
Is that Tears? What is it?
It's a song. Okay. On tonight's show, the code is L is for LED. That's right, 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. The reason why the code is L is for LED because we're going to be debuting L is for LED Circuit Playground.
Yay!
Your purchase support us, an open source company. We have kits, we have electronics, we give away the schematics, the source code, and more. And why do we do all this stuff? Well, because eventually, maybe, hopefully, you'll buy some electronics from us. That's what that code is for. Show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing their projects. We had a bunch. We will go over that and more. Pack of the Mailbag is going to stop by, and we're going to play a voicemail. Time travel, a look in the past, present, and future of things going around in the maker world.
Wait, future?
Always.
How do you know the
future?
future?
Best days are ahead.
Okay.
Made in New York. Manufacturing footage and more from here at the Adafruit factory. Talk about some IoT, 3D printing videos, new products. Answer your questions. We'll have some top secret stuff. We'll give away something, all that and more on Ask an Engineer.
All right.
Exciting show ahead.
It's a full hour of electronics, fun, and
usually
joy.
a little bit more now.
Maybe a little bit more. But, we try to wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's kick it off.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Pay some bills. L is for LED. Use that code on checkout, 10% off for everything except for gift certificates and AdaBox. And again, that's celebrating our new release of L is for LED. We're getting through the alphabet.
Halfway through.
Yep. This is Ask an Engineer every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And we just did show and tell every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Same day shipping. We do that. If you're in Manhattan, you check out and there's a zip code that we can get the stuff to you same day. Just do it before 11 a.m. And we do it in the U.S., free UPS ground, $200 or more continental U.S. And yeah, you asked for it. We did it. We have DHL to Canada now. It's working out great. And then a special note, Monday we won't be shipping orders because it's Memorial Day. And thank you for all the service people out there, men and women, who's helped keep this country safe, secure, and all their smarts and hard work. So this is Memorial Day coming up.
Yeah, and the people who gave their lives to let us do what we're doing now. Have a company,
so
free speech.
Yeah, we'll be posting stuff on the Adafruit blog. And once again, thank you. We still do free shipping to military bases.
Yes.
And more. Okay.
APOs and AFOs, you will get, if you check out with that as your address, you will get free shipping.
Yep. Okay. So
every day, not just Memorial Day.
That's right. Show and tell. Every week for at least 8 years, we've been doing the show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing their projects.
We're not going to stop.
No, we're not going to stop.
Oh, we had more people than ever. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. 13, 14. We had like 14 people show up in the show and tell, but I will get through them. Okay, start off with, not in any particular order, just what I have written down here. John Park from Adafruit West. He was at Maker Faire, gave us a little bit of update on the Maker Faire. He said it was really fun. Microsoft had a cool booth where they showed off Circuit Playground Express and Microsoft MakeCode. And the project that kids were building were making a magic wand, and it's a project that John Park made. So he updated his guide for the magic wand or magic sword to use Circuit Playground Express and MakeCode. So it's drag and drop, super easy to customize your very own wand. So check out the guide, and we posted some photos on our blog from the MakeCode event. And the code for it is embedded in the tutorial, which is really neat. Erin showed off her amazing Wonder Woman bracers. She dressed up as Wonder Woman when she was 6 years old. But we're all 6-year-olds at heart. And so she made really cool interactive Wonder Woman bracers with like internal LEDs that like glow like fire. And when she waves her hand like to block bullets, or when something hits the bracers, they sparkle and they make a sound. So that's really cool. They're like interactive, and she even put in a special mode that would always be on, so that when she's at a cosplay event, she doesn't have to like constantly act out. It'll just like constantly be on so she can pose for photos, which is very smart. Phil B followed up last week's video output demo for Circuit Playground with an AM radio demo. So you can have your Circuit Playground be a very, very weak AM radio transmitter. It's only a couple inches, but it does work. We're going to maybe try getting a bigger antenna and seeing if you can go a couple feet or more. Of course, you could plug into an amplifier and go much further, but it's pretty cool that it works. Known Pedro talked about this week's 3D Hangouts project. We'll be showing the video shortly. It's a mini PC that runs Windows. It's an update of their Raspberry Pi project. This time it's a Windows PC, and they show how to get the Windows PC that snaps onto the back of the display. They use it for updating the firmware on their 3D printers and like running other plan on their other mail. Basically, they don't have to lug around a laptop. They have a small dedicated microcomputer just for controlling their CNC devices.
Yeah, very cute little HDMI connectors. We'll have those soon.
Yeah, they told her, like, you should get these. I'm like, I'm going to get them.
I need those.
And then I forgot, but I'm going to do it. And then Scott and Tony D were actually at PyCon, so if you went there, you got to meet them, and they did, I think, a open space workshop, and Tony D gave a talk, which is awesome. They blogged about that, but Scott showed off some PyCon pics of people playing around with CircuitPython. And then his mother took a call, so we had to go. Hart built a beautiful umbrella plus ESP8266, like NeoPixel umbrella, and he takes it to festivals and shows, and people just love it. And it was like these beautiful LED designs inspired by our floor umbrella. This one is Wi-Fi, so you can control it from your phone or from a computer. And with beautiful fast LED effects, really gorgeous stuff. Lon gave us an update. He's going to go to Maker Faire Minneapolis in a couple weeks, so if you're going there, you can meet him, say hi. He's probably going to be showing off his space guns, which he's been streaming about. He's updated his original space gun, and he's building a whole new version with bigger, better LEDs and sound effects. It has a Star Trek Next Generation mode, which is cool. And you can change the modes. It's a very like multifunction space gun. Then Sophie, we played Maker Charades. She has a Ghostbusters Power Pack backpack full of LEDs and sounds and buttons, and she has like a button, she can like blast ghosts. So I don't know. I guess who are you gonna call? You're gonna call Sophie.
Yeah.
And she'll get rid of those ghosts for you. The ghost that took out her microphone. And hopefully she'll come back, and maybe next week she can show it again. Virgil loves to build projects for his granddaughter, and he comes by once in a while and shows what he's working on. This week he's working on a project for her next visit. He's making a donkey toy that he put a Feather M0 and a Music Maker, a PWM feather wing inside of it to make the donkey sing songs and like move its tail and head. So he's like making really cool advanced toys for his granddaughter. Austin and Angela built an app for people who are in hospitals who want to dream and wish about places they want to visit. So it's kind of like a Pinterest / Airbnb kind of mix where they'll pick an image that they're inspired by, and it will use AI to figure out what location they could go to. So if you put in like a dolphin or a seashell, it'll be like, here's a location in Waikiki or in Florida where you can swim with dolphins, for example. And the idea is that it helps people who might be stuck in a hospital communicate with their caretakers and say, this is what I want after I get out. I want to take a trip here or here, and kind of helps inspire them. And then it's hooked into a crowdfunding system so that their friends and family can also help crowdfund.
Yeah, this combines technologies in such a good way, and it's a cause, and it uses all these technologies not to, manipulate stock prices or get that pizza to you faster or, Uber for cat food. It's a cause. And so I think a lot of hackathons could take a page from this and like, here's something you can develop that can have an impact on someone's life. So I really like that.
Yeah. So check that out. It's called Wish B&B.
Yeah.
And they won a hackathon contest, Austin and Angela. So good work working together. And they somehow figured out how to get both on the show and tell at once, which is like hard, but successful. Vlad built a beautiful 3D printed like twirl spinner. I don't know what they're called, but they're like they screw into each other.
Swizzler, I don't know.
It's like a Swizzler. And they're so much fun to twist. And so he made a really big one on his 3D printer. And then he's like, well, I don't want to even have to twist it. Like it twists in and out, and it looks like it's like shrinking and expanding. So he built with a circuit playground to do underlighting and a servo and a limit switch.
Yeah,
that
the magnet lifts it up, and then when it gets to the top, it drops it, and it goes down,
and it like
goes
swirls up
It's
and
super
swirls
cool.
down. And it is
Very soothing.
soothing and amazing. And I love that he said, he was going to build it with an Arduino and a NeoPixel, but he's like, wait, I have something all in one.
The circuit playground's kind of just like that.
Circuit playground, which is exactly what I designed it for, so people didn't have to get a ring and then something else
Yeah.
to make a cool effect, which is beautiful. And then in line with that, not similar, but I think they could work together. Caleb had a glow-in-the-dark powder that he got from like Amazon, and he mixed it with some cornstarch, but corn syrup. But he said it was still separated.
It would settle overnight. He's like, well, how can I solve this
So what can I
problem?
do? So he took a servo and he made it like turn the test tube around, and it kind of had this really cool swooshing effect of the UV under the. He has UV lights to make it swoosh in a really cool way.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I think if Caleb and Vlad teamed up, and they had a glow-in-the-dark swirler that just constantly moved up and down.
We've seen that. Show and tell projects tend to get together sometimes.
You would never leave the house. You'd just be like, why do anything? Why eat when I can just watch this glow-in-the-dark swirler? And that was show and tell.
All participants on the show and tell get an as seen on the show and tell sticker, or anything else like a Sparky the Blue Smoke Monster if they blow up something. We do that every single week. It's part of our Adafruit live series of videos. This week we had some other live videos we did, some Desk of Lady Ada. I've got a supercut of some of the things that we did. We set up a microscope.
Set up this microscope, HDMI microscope, and then here is me actually using it. And our first test was just me doing a tour of Circuit Playground, just playing with zoom and focus. And this was a project we did last night. You asked me for help because I'm an engineer. And you're like, I have a problem, and this could be solved by an engineer. So you're right now you're using Wirecast. So all this magic, the videos and me and us in the corner and like things coming up and out, it's all done in Wirecast, which is like a really intense piece of software.
Yeah, if you've seen Minority Report, it's basically approaching that. I have these special gloves and I wave my hands, and there's 5 different cameras, there's soundboards, there's 5 different streaming services, so I have lots of key commands. But I'm like, I should just get a device.
And it's hard to remember. It's like this option, open, Apple, close,
whatever. And I do this on 4 different computers.
And it's all a little bit different. So what he asked me to do is make a little box with buttons on it that he can press, and like, when he presses one button, it goes to one camera, and presses the other button, it takes the scene to a different scene. And so, I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. I've done with like a trinket or a feather 32.4, and then I realized, oh wait, CircuitPython now has support for keyboard, like HID keyboard. So in 10 minutes on the stream, I showed how to use CircuitPython on a Feather M0 like microcontroller, and I just typed in, it was like 20 lines of code to read 6 buttons and then emit key commands. And what's neat is when I give it to you, when you plug it in, it shows up like a disk drive with the code on it.
Yeah.
So when you want to change the key commands from computer to computer, or as your new Wirecast comes out and they change everything, you can go in and say, okay, it's no longer option Alt 3, it's now Alt option
Or if I have
F4.
guests on the show or something. So the other cool thing is with CircuitPython, it shows up as USB drive, and I can store multiple versions and just call it main.py and use that as the main one.
Yeah, so you can easily change it. And if I had done this in Arduino, I'd be like, oh, I have to compile and upload. You wouldn't be able to edit on the fly.
Yeah, one of the challenges is a lot of these computers are basically meant for doing like streaming and things like that. So putting in the Arduino ID and keeping it up to date and all that's just not really possible. And then I'd have to have it on every computer.
Yeah.
So having something that just shows up with a text editor that I can change is really good.
Yeah, so check out that stream. What I like about doing the CircuitPython-based streams is they're really short, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to write the code, and then because it's instant update, it takes only like 5 minutes, and I'm like, that's it, that project is done, yay.
Yeah.
And then, even going through it line by line. We also had the bolt port assembly, which was another microscope test. It was fun.
And then we showed actually setting up the microscope.
Yeah.
We had a cat in a box and some other stuff.
There was a cat in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about the microscope before we move on is we put MOSFET's paw in our microscope, and we were able to analyze his paw. It turns out he's a cat.
He's a cat.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was like Wayland Technologies. He's not a synthetic cat. He's a real cat.
You think real cat? Oh, you would have seen like the Wayland logo
Yeah.
on each hair?
Yeah, I had to check.
Yeah.
Didn't say Westworld or Wayland or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a chocolate black cat, so if you with the light, actually it's a brown chocolate color.
I just wanted to make sure.
He's not
Because we saw
synthetic.
aliens and the androids kind of went crazy. I want to make sure this cat's not going to... He's not going to freak out.
That'd be so cool if there's another cat. It was like next generation MOSFET.
Yeah.
Cyber MOSFET. Okay.
Okay, well, Tony D and Scott were at PyCon. Thank you so much for that. We're going to have more CircuitPython stuff to talk about. We have some It's not out yet, but we're not going to do it yet.
Yeah.
No. We have some Maker Faire footage and some wrap up and stuff. DigiKey, this is our Snapchat. You should probably go to it. They had an interactive Make magazine.
They did?
Yeah. So this is Make magazine with a circuit playground in it.
Oh, they cut it out and they put it in.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And this is their giant circuit playground.
Yes, made it. We one of the people who works with us made this for them. So this is what, like 3 foot by 3 foot. It's gigantic. Those are like LED matrices for the LEDs.
And then this is copies of Make. So one of the things, when I was working at Make and we would have a Maker Faire, whatever volume that happened to coincide with that Maker Faire was kind of the theme. Timing just worked out. So the Lady Ada cover, the Make was there. There's a big circuit playground in the background. So it was neat to see all the pictures of the kids with their Make, with all the things they were doing. Also, this was kind of our debut for a lot of reasons. MakeCode was there. Microsoft did a fantastic job making a Blockly-like programming language where you can just drag and drop. So
you can check it out right now. You can use it as a simulator even if you don't have hardware.
Yeah.
But it works with a lot of cool platforms. The Microbit, which they've supported for a bit. Now they're supporting Circuit Playground Express. And then they also recently added Minecraft as a way to script and code inside Minecraft, which is really neat. I actually want to make it so maybe we can use two things at once, like a Microbit and Minecraft at the same time to create an interface. Yeah. It also works with the SparkFun SAMD board. I don't remember the precise name, but it is a SAMD21 board that SparkFun makes. And also Bunny's Learn to Code, Bunny and GHG's Chibitronics Love to Code. Yeah. It's a mouthful. They're cool clip-on paper electronics program.
What's neat is any web browser you can use, any computer use, and you can be programming right away and not even having to type a single thing.
There's no typing. You don't need any drivers. Chibitronics, there was a talk at CCC that Bunny gave about the design, and it actually uses audio, not even USB. Ours, when you write code, you download it as a USB file into a USB drive. That's how you program it. There's no COM ports. There's no, click a reset button before, like at the very right time. You put it into bootload mode, you drag the file, and then it automatically runs. But there's also this emulator that people can see on the left-hand side. Yeah. And that emulator lets you basically try out, and it works like the audio plays through your, your speakers. You can press the buttons, you can shake it, and test out your project before programming it.
And if you want to try Make Code out, you can go to makecode.adafruit.com, and what boards that we make are supported.
Right now, Circuit Playground Express is the board that we make that is supported. We also sell the Microbit, which is well supported. So you have two options.
Okay. And so I also wanted to give a shout out to Microsoft, who did an excellent job at the booth and more. There we go. Almost a crash.
Didn't crash.
Ooh, didn't have the keyboard thing on. So this was some photos from their booth and more. And you can see the line of kids and people looking to do these projects. Here's the wand and the TIE Fighter and the Microbit stuff. Here you can see an entire table full of things. Here's a close-up of the TIE Fighter. I really like this. So it's a circuit playground that fits exactly in there.
Wait, aren't TIE Fighters like the bad guys?
It's really hard to tell who the bad guy is now.
Okay.
It really is.
Well, it looks cool. I hope it plays like Darth Vader theme or something.
Yeah, here's some kids and circuit playground stuff. And then here's another kid. So there's a lot of good addiction going on with Circuit Playground. It's so easy to use with Make Code that it's hard to put down because you can just keep tossing things and you just see it live there and then it's on the device there.
Yeah, what I like is it kind of ends the tyranny of semicolons and no, it's true. It's just like it's really hard to teach somebody to code when syntax gets in the way of the syntax is important to know. Of course, syntax is important when programming, but it's not, I think, the most. It's kind of like you wouldn't teach somebody English by like saying here's a verb and here's a noun and here's how to segment up a sentence. You would just teach them, oh, you want to say good morning or you want to say thank you or you want to say please call me, whatever. All the phrases that you learn when you're learning a language, that's more important than like the grammatical rules. And so what I like about MakeCode is it separates out those grammatical rules so that you can just have the experience in the story that you want.
Great way to get started in that first 5 minutes when we might lose someone that's like, oh, everything's too hard. We get to keep them excited. So that's what's going on. The other thing, Hackster and Avnet had a really neat booth, and they gave away a bunch of Circuit Playgrounds. Here's some happy folks. And so that's a little bit of Maker Faire coverage. We'll have more on the blog soon. Now it's time to play some videos. So this is from Aaron. Take it away, Aaron.
It's curtains for you, Wonder Woman.
You've made it, Lady Ada. You're now being cosplayed. You know you've made it. Okay, so we are on to the next letter in our coloring book. You have Lady Ada's E is for electronics. The A through Z of electronics, we were up to L.
Ampere, battery, capacitor, diode, useful electronics, F for frequency, G for ground, H for hertz, I for integrated circuit, J for joule,
K for kit.
K for kit.
L is for LED.
L is for
And this is
LED.
my favorite, one of my favorite ones, because I really like Billie Holiday, and so when we were making these puppets, we decided to make Billie, the blue LED. She's a little sad sometimes, but it's okay.
This is her debut.
Take it away, Billie.
I got a right to sing the blues. I got a right to moan inside. I got a right to sit and cry down around the river.
I love boxes.
Whoa, what's that music?
Oh, that's just Billie.
Oh no, she sounds pretty sad.
Yeah, don't go nuts. Billy's just got the blues again.
Oh,
Shaboo, baboo.
Ava, Billy, Connie, Ruby, Mo, Gus, Cappy, Hans, Circuit Hey Billy, why are you so blue?
I suppose that's just the way I am.
So you've always been blue?
Yeah, well, she's made with gallium nitride.
Gallium what? Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, Adabot, inside every LED is a small crystal.
Really?
When you connect the short leg of an LED to ground and the longer leg to positive voltage, voila!
The crystal glows and the LED lights up.
Very cool. So, electricity flowing through an LED's crystal creates light. But why are LEDs certain colors in the first place?
The type of crystal used in an LED determines that LED's color.
Oh, interesting.
A red LED like me uses a type of crystal made of gallium arsenide. That's two elements, gallium and arsenic, mixed together.
I use an aluminum gallium crystal to get so green.
And indium gallium nitride is what makes me so blue.
Oh, so different crystals make different colored light.
Yeah.
But I've also seen LEDs that change color. How do they do that?
Well, we usually call those color-changing LEDs RGB LEDs.
Hey, I've got an RGB LED right here.
Oh, good. Let's take a closer look to see how they work. We call them RGB because inside every one of them are 3 different types of crystals. One that makes red light, one that makes green light, and one that makes blue.
I get it. RGB. Red, green, and blue.
Exactly. And by mixing red, green, and blue, we can make pretty much any color we want.
Like, say, purple.
Or orange.
Or even white.
Wow. Thanks, guys. LEDs make a lot more sense now.
You're very welcome, Adabot. LEDs are in so many electronic devices, screens, billboards, even light bulbs.
Yeah, it's really important to understand how they work.
Agreed. You know, Billy, you may be blue, but you light up my life.
Aww.
Yay.
I love LEDs. I love RGB LEDs.
All right, so that's on our YouTube channel right now too. Okay.
Neat.
So mailbag, packing mailbags here. Every single week we have emails that come into the company,
Voicemails.
voicemails, and more. And here's this week's.
This is Charles Bonafort calling, and I'm just calling to tell you that I got my order very quickly and very satisfactorily. I'm playing around with the Metro M0 Express, and I actually got several programs to download. So I thank you very much for speedy service.
So if you want to leave us a message, OwnBitStab, that's our phone number. Our phone usually goes to voicemail. but
You
that's
can
the
call
phone
right
number.
now, leave us a nice voicemail, and we may play it.
Yeah. Okay, time travel. Look back in the world of hackers, makers, artists, engineers. You're going to like some of these this week. Ready, Lady Ada?
What happened?
1934, happy birthday, Robert Moog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Moog? I don't even know.
Moog. Robert Arthur Bob Moog, founder of Moog Music, was an American engineer and the pioneer of electronic music. Is known for being the inventor of the Moog, or Moog, or Moog synthesizer. And
He also invented a bunch of really cool circuits,
Yeah.
which is neat. And I think he patented them and released them into the public domain eventually.
yeah, and still had a little bit of time.
Like balance, some balance, something.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
Here's some quotes. You ready?
Yeah.
Good quotes. I happen to think computers are the most important thing to happen to musicians since the invention of the catgut, which was a long time ago. My training as an engineer has enabled me to design stuff, but the reason I do it is to make music, not to make music, but the opportunity to work with musicians. For those of you wearing ties, I think my dad would appreciate it if you took them off.
It's cool.
Happy birthday, Java.
Oh, boy. I'm sure if I go back to my computer's going to be like, time to update Java.
Yeah, that's why your computer wanted to update today, because Java has a birthday. Yeah, so Java, happy birthday. 1995, the first version of Java programming language was shipping. Now, that was 1995. In 1991, I was a co-author on a book called Flash and Generator Demystified, where I wrote servlets. This is a book cover. This is a book I did.
Servlets.
Yeah, just 6 years later.
Jeez, that's...
Yeah.
Look, you know...
Write once, deploy anywhere.
I love you, but that is like a hideous cover. What is going on there? Why is there so many things?
Moving right
What is
along.
that spinning thing at the top?
Moving right along. 2012, we made a Lego set. And Lego had a voting site.
Does it run Java?
I think it did.
Okay.
And there was a voting site. And we were doing pretty good until the dudes who really wanted Batman stuff to win. So they all got together and they're like, don't let this lady Lego set.
Maybe I'm Batman.
I haven't seen you and Batman in the same picture.
I'm Batman.
Yeah. So here's a video that we shot at the time. So good news is Lego eventually had an entire set of Legos for women astronauts, scientists.
Yeah.
So it happened. Sometimes we're a little too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Lego
I
set.
still think they need to have, it doesn't have to be me,
Yeah.
but they should have an electrical engineer, like soldering station, pick and place, and laser cutter, they should have a maker space Lego set. Why not? That would be so cool.
Yeah, and here it is.
Hey, here it is.
This is our Lego set.
By the way, these like precariously balanced DigiKey
Yes.
boxes are like to scale. Yeah, laser
It still lights
cutter.
up.
Oh my
So this
goodness.
is our
The
apartment.
batteries are still working.
This is our apartment when
Yeah.
Adafruit was just a couple people.
What's MOSFET down there?
Meow.
Hey.
Okay, I'm like Mr. Rogers over here. Okay, hi.
Hello.
On my sweater. All right, so we also have a video from Noah and Pedro. They went to Brickfest. Take it away. Okay, and it's National Week of Making, and that
Dude,
is...
there's a lot of news today. There's so much going on.
Oh, there's just news.
Okay.
Yeah, National Week of Making, June 16th to June 22nd. It is your chance and your community to celebrate makers. This is an effort from Dorothy, Stephanie, and the entire Nation of Makers group. It's not connected to a political organization, not connected to a magazine. It's an independent group.
Not connected to a company.
Really
It's
like
completely
it.
independent.
Yeah, so every week... I've Dorothy, if she has time, she'll send me a video. And this week I have a video from Dorothy, and I have a video from someone who's participating in National Week of Making. So take it away, National Week of Makers. Yeah.
Hi guys, Dorothy here from Nation of Makers, wanting to give you an update on what's been going on. I know it's been a while, but we've been really, really busy. Started out last week at the Maker Ed convening, which was a great gathering of a bunch of maker educators from around the country, sharing best practices, just all of these really amazing stories of what's been going on around the country. And then I got an opportunity to go to the Bay Area Maker Fair, which is one of my favorite maker fairs to attend. It's really has a special place in my heart, just all of the amazing makers that come together at that large celebration of making. Folks from the Bay Area and beyond, just sharing all the amazing things they're doing. And it was an opportunity for me to see this in person, and it was very exciting to see it shared around the entire fair and folks really appreciating what Adafruit is doing and just spreading the word of what Adafruit does, which is so valuable in our community. I then headed to the Infosys conference where I'm at now, which is the Infosys Crossroads conference, where I have had the great opportunity to lead a panel that's talking about creating a flourishing maker ecosystem and really share best practices on that, and just had a fantastic panel a little while ago. And now I'm just really gearing up for the week of making. So June 16th to the 22nd is our week of making, and I've been reading applications as they come in for our Maker Town Hall micro grants that I told you about a couple weeks ago. Just really excited to see all the new applications coming in. Really excited to think about what communities we're going to seed with that funding. If you haven't got it in yet, it's not too late. June 1st is the deadline, so please get your applications in. And really excited to share a new project we're working on for the week of making, which is the community build project. And I really can't do it justice in explaining what it is. I'd much rather share with you Kevin Harden and his students in Cleveland, Ohio, who have made a wonderful video to share with all of us what the community build project is. And I really hope that you can get involved with it.
June 16th through June 22nd marks National Week of Making. The Week of Making is an opportunity for individuals and communities throughout the U.S. to participate in making activities locally, celebrating the innovation, ingenuity, and creativity of makers.
During the Week of Making, makerspaces around the country will host community events and maker fairs to engage the community and share the benefits of making. In addition to hosting events, individuals and organizations are called to action to identify a problem in their community and build a solution. We encourage makers to help their community.
Well, here we go. Open source hardware. I got a video show. What you can do live. Congratulations, Lady Ada. You're an open source hardware maker, and you, yes, you were awarded a prize.
A CQ Amateur.
This is the latest issue of CQ Magazine. I don't know if you're a subscriber like I am.
I am actually not a subscriber to CQ. We subscribe to ARL, but I'm a little embarrassed because I don't know Morse code.
Yeah, well, you have an expert license.
I know, but it doesn't have a code requirement.
Yeah, so you got a amateur ham radio license award.
We did.
You, Lamar Freed, founder of Adafruit Industries, major supplier of open source electronics to the maker community, honored by President Obama in 2016 as champion changed by the Internet. And by the Internet of Things Institute as 25 most influential women in the IoT industry. You got this award. Congratulations.
AC2SN.
Yeah. And for the folks out there, Make is on newsstands. We bought a bunch. And they're also coming to subscribers. If you subscribe to the digital edition, it is everywhere right now.
I believe if you subscribe to Make now, you will also start with this issue. It's a great time to subscribe. Support Make.
Yep.
Make does so much for the community. They have events. They have a website. Anything you can do to help them out would be great.
And from what I understand, this is a very successful volume of Make. In the past, when I was there, and then even afterwards, what they put on the cover mattered.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure they got the most people interested in. So lots of 3D printers.
And there's a lot of really good articles in this issue as well. I read them. There's an article about the Sci-5 chip. There's an article by Gordon Williams about Esperino. I learned a lot. I was enchanted. I was amazed. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it.
It's a good volume. If it wasn't, I'd say so, because unfortunately I don't.
Yeah, you would.
I don't really have a way not to. Okay. Adafruit Daily, that's our daily newsletter, adafruitdaily.com. Why is it a separate domain? Well, glad you asked. It's because we want to make sure no one ever assumes that they get any spam from us ever. So if you go to adafruitdaily.com, that's where you can sign up for 3D printing, electronics, wearables, biohacking, maker business, all of those. Yeah, cosplay. And our other news, we're an Eagle.
We are. Design blockins.
Yeah. So Eagle contacted us and said we'd like to have a lot of the popular Adafruit designs in Eagle.
And guess what? They're open source.
Yeah.
So you can.
It's there now. So Lady Ada.
So we got Trinket, original Trinket design.
Yeah.
And if you want to reuse this schematic or circuitry, go for it. I'll admit, my schematics are not the most beautiful things, but they usually work. So hopefully y'all can, of course you can always download the original files off of GitHub. There, everything is up there. But for people who want to just use them directly within Eagle, you can now import them directly.
Next up, we have some factory footage. I'm told this is some of the favorite parts of the show. This is made in New York. We're here. This is the golden hour, we call it. This is when the sun is setting on Adafruit.
It's beautiful. No filter.
Triple products. And then we have some picking and placing. And we have a 2-minute video where we're changing out some of the stuff with the selective solder.
Yes, we
So I'm
did
gonna
a
show
belt
that.
upgrade.
Yeah.
It's a tight fit, but it fits.
We flush to the... Okay, well, hey, look, no, this is good because the impeller is moving
They're very close.
All right. Put the belt on, yeah.
This is already slid forward. There's some go on.
Actually, we can slide it forward a little more.
And another glorious sunset, the Adafruit factory. This is what our picking places see out the window.
Yes.
This is why
Our
they
picking
sleep
places
well.
are free range.
That's why they sleep so well. All right, around the corner here. 3D printing. Noah and Pedro have another good 3D printing video. This one is a 7-inch mini PC that has taken the internet on storm.
People love this project, they
Yeah.
said.
Here it is.
Little mini windows.
In this week's project, we'll show you how to build a portable mini PC. This 7-inch display has a built-in battery and it works with any HDMI device. We're using this project to manage our 3D printers because we find it much more portable than a laptop. It's fairly small and can actually fit on the bed of our 3D printer. It's got built-in USB charging, so it's an all-in-one solution that works really well when you need to diagnose your machine or just when you need to bring your computer to your workbench. This is a Kangaroo mini PC with Windows 10. It also has a built-in battery with charging and an HDMI out connection. We've mounted it to the back of the 3D printed case so it's all together in a single unit. These HDMI connectors are really slim and mounted to a PCB, giving this project a low profile. The case is 3D printed in PLA on a Type A Machines 3D printer. The cover is designed to snap fit over the case and all the components can be secured with machine screws. We used 26 gauge silicone coated wires and we only need 4 connections. Prepare the wires by stripping the tips using wire strippers and apply solder to tin them. This will prevent the wires from fraying. The PowerBoost 1000C has an onboard voltage regulator and USB charging. We'll need to connect our wires using a soldering iron. We'll then wire a small slide switch to the enable and ground pins on the power boost. This will allow us to power the circuit on and off. Next, we'll connect the voltage and ground wires from the power boost to the display driver. The HDMI connectors are right-angled and feature a latching mechanism. It's easy to connect the flat ribbon cable and plug them into the HDMI connector on the display. The mounting tabs on the display driver rest on top of the 3D printed standoffs. The power boost is mounted to the cover and positioned so we can plug in a USB cable for recharging the battery. The slide switch can be mounted to a built-in holder near the top of the case and secured with friction. We'll use some gaffer's tape to attach the battery to the cover of the case. This is an easy way to keep the battery in place, and it adds a bit of protection. With all of our components in place, we can then secure the display to the cover with machine screws. And before we close it up, we'll need to thread the flat HDMI cable through the slit on the cover. After that, we'll close it up and press the edges together so that the nubs fit into the little indentations on the side walls. Now we can connect the flat HDMI cable to the male HDMI connector PCB. Lastly, we'll attach our mounting brackets for the PC. We just need to line up the mounting holes and secure them together with machine screws. And that's it. This works really great for any HDMI device. Together with the mini PC and a wireless keyboard and mouse, you can get this nice and portable setup. And since it's running Windows 10, we can install all sorts of desktop grade apps. You can also mount it in many different ways. We like sticking it to a tripod so we can easily prop it up next to our 3D printers. We really like using it for updating firmware on our 3D printers, and that's actually why we made this. The display backpack is really nice because it has an integrated display driver. The power boost will safely power the display, and when the battery gets low, we can recharge it over USB. Hey, if you like this project, consider sharing it and giving it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Adafruit channel for new DIY projects every week.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
Wait, did I ask for it? Is it more pangolins?
They're spinning, they're spinning, they're spinning, they're spinning. Don't forget 3D Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, no Pedro.
That's a really cool project.
They're printing.
I guess it fits inside, so you don't need a bearing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like 3D printing is kind of amazing.
We're not going to make it to Mars, but boy, do we have spinners.
We have spinners. I think I'll actually make a comment about the mini PC. So what I really like about Noah and Pedro is they have this Adafruit spirit that we have, and because I'm going to show some of the new products. Whatever they need, whatever we use or we need, we turn it into projects and share it with them. So they didn't think like, what was going to be our 3D Hangouts project this week? It's going to be this mini PC. They said, well, we have 3D printers. We would really like to have this mini Windows PC project. Let's build it for ourselves so we know that we do a good job.
Yeah.
And then we'll share it with the rest of the community. And I've always found that those projects and those products and those tutorials do really well because they're unexpected.
I like when people, they see fidget spinners. They're like, I can make that.
Yeah.
I go make it. It's cool.
Make like 18 little things sticking out of it.
Okay, Lady Ada.
Yes.
The code is zealous for LEDs. It's a celebration of Billy, our blue LED. She's a little blue. Stuff has happened in Billy's life. She's had some loss. She's had some tragedy.
Yeah, she lost one bit of her legs. Her legs are not even
She doesn't really know her parents. It's okay. Yeah.
Gallium and arsenide.
Yeah. Well, she ran away from them. It's a long story.
Right. She grew up on the streets.
Yeah. Okay. So it's time, Lady Ada. Ready?
Is it time for new?
Yeah.
New.
It's new product time.
It's new product time. Everybody's favorite time.
And your Adafruit account, you can sign up for new. It's our new weekly newsletter. We only send it to you if you want it, so you have to kind of try hard.
You have to try hard to sign up. There's no pop-ups, there's no
Yeah.
automatic subscription, but you can get a weekly newsletter.
Yeah. Okay, first up.
Altium badge. Many people who watch our shows or in our community.
We have an Eagle badge. We have
use
a KiCad
Altium.
badge.
We have KiCad, we have Eagle, Altium.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the people I look up to use Altium. I haven't, but I'm like, hey, there's people who want to be proud of whatever they learned. So we have a lovely embroidered badge. You can sew it on or you can iron it on. It's got this really cool, like, gold thread. It's like metallic-y.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like metallic, but it's shimmery and looks really good. And show your pride.
Yeah. If you live in Altium, you want this. Okay.
If you use Altium, this could be for you.
This is for you. If you learned it, want to award it, they have free version. Give it to a kid. Okay, next up, Spudger.
Next up, Spudger. Well, yes, this is a Spudger. Thank you for explaining that. It's called Spudger.
Hero Week.
Hero, thank you. So this is an interesting tool, and this is again a tool that like I use, and so I was like, you know what? I think this would be handy to put it in the shop, in the store for people to purchase. So it's basically a double-ended like prying tool. Okay, so you know how whenever you have to open a box or like an enclosure, and you end up using a knife or your keys or like a screwdriver, and you end up kind of like making things worse. Well, this is actually the tool you should be using. This is a prying tool. I've also seen it used for getting underneath chips when hot air reworking. So, you know, you hot air and, you know, you want to pry the chip up. How do you pry from underneath? Well, this is a nice slim shim that you can go in under and then keep hot airing, and then that chip will pop off, or you could use with solder braid. Maybe I'll show it on the overhead. Okay, so yes, it's kind of long. It's got this nice knurling over here. And then there's two edges. There's this end, which is a sharp point, and you can see there's a little bit of a taper so that, you know, you can wedge this point in and it'll get you started. And then you can use this rounded edge, which is a little softer but has a kind of a wider angle of attack. And you can go in and slowly wedge into your enclosure or box. So I use this a lot now. This is a really high quality one. We had a desk of lay data where I tried out a bunch of spudgers, and some of them were kind of cheap. They worked, but I thought, like, you know, I want something better quality. This one is stainless steel. It's really nice. It's super durable. You can also use it as a letter opener, but it's great for getting into enclosures and projects, especially ones that are glued or plastic or whatever, have tape in them. Getting under chips, or just, you know, I actually use it now just for poking and prodding parts on a circuit board.
Yeah.
If I want to like poke a part into a location. This tip is a little bit, has a little bit more surface area than a pair of tweezers, so things kind of go in the direction I want.
Okay.
So, Spudger tool.
The stars of the show tonight, besides you, are all this stuff.
From PyBoard, MicroPython.
Yeah,
this
these
is
are PyBoards from MicroPython.
Damien George. So we have a new PyBoard. This is the PyBoard Lite. And we've carried the PyBoard for like at least a year, more, maybe 2 years now. It's a board that has MicroPython running on it. It's a MicroPython interpreter. It basically runs Python 3.4. It's really amazing. It has an internal memory system, but you can also plug it in SD card, and it will show up like a disk drive, and you can access it from within Python. You can connect to the REPL through USB. The people really like the PyBoard, but some people don't need the full power of the PyBoard chip. It's I think it's like 180 megahertz, and it's got a full megabyte of flash and a ton of RAM. The PyBoard Lite is a little bit less expensive and has a slightly slower and slightly smaller microcontroller. It's still quite fast. It's totally capable of running MicroPython and doing a lot with it. It's just not as advanced a chip as the PyBoard. And so if you want to build a project and maybe you want to have you don't need that power and you want to spend a little bit less, the PyBoard Lite is there for you. It's otherwise pin compatible.
Yeah.
We also have this header set. So these are sold. Oh, this shows it with the headers.
Yeah, we're going to go
installed.
to the LCD, then we'll go to the header set.
Okay,
Actually,
so-
no, let's skip around. So this is it, the header set installed?
Yes.
But check this out.
Beautiful
set.
headers. These are beautiful headers that you can solder in. We sell the PyBoard without the headers installed because some people want a really slim board and some people want to add them. With some very simple soldering, you can solder in all of these header plugs, and you can plug in all sorts of Python skins, as they're called.
Yeah.
So here it is assembled, as you saw before.
And then you want to go to LCD?
Can you go to the case next, actually? Because that's actually kind of cool. That was a good segue, as it were. So this is a beautiful anodized MicroPython case. It's got the MicroPython logo on it. It's this gorgeous two-piece anodized aluminum enclosure. It fits both Pi board and Pi board Lite. And you can see the slot in the top. So after you snap your Pi board in, you have access to all of the headers. So if you go to that photo, you can see the headers come out. It's beautiful. So can you show this on the overhead?
Yeah, let me show some more photos real quick.
Lovely job. Yeah, so you can get to all the ports. There's 2 buttons, and then you can get to the USB and SD card slot.
Yeah.
And this is it with the LCD on it. So you can see you can access the headers.
Yeah.
Okay. And the back. It is beautiful. So this is the Pi case. So you can see I've got the Pi board in it. It has 4 screws. It's incredibly durable. You have the slot here. I'm not exactly sure what that slot's about, but you can see your pins and maybe you can fit some circuitry inside. There's a button for user, so the user accessible button, and the reset button that will reset the MicroPython microcontroller. And then these are all the headers. They're labeled very nicely. So
This is cool. This is one of the best cases.
This is really beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, Damien George does an excellent job. It's a really great case. It has these little micro holes that for the LEDs, for status LEDs. You can't see it on the overhead, but trust me, you can see LEDs shine through. And then you see the SD card slot and the micro USB connector. And I like this curve. It's protective. It comes out and just protects the SD card, so you can remove it easily, but doesn't get bumped. And then, of course, what's nice about this is that you can still plug in accessories. So this is the TFT, and we'll talk about this in a moment, but I have this nice demo that automatically runs. Let me see if it'll run. Maybe I have to hit the reset button.
No, well, I have some photos.
There you go. So this is the TFT. It's a 160 by 128 color display with a touch screen on top as well. You can see it's very fast. And here's a Python rendering of Mandelbrot dynamically in Python. This isn't a GIF. It's actually calculating that Mandelbrot set and displaying it on the TFT dynamically.
Damien is a physicist, and he did cosmic background radiation research, so this is the type of thing you get.
That's what you get. But what's cool is you can see, even though it's running a Python interpreter, and this is the Pi board Lite, look at how fast the updates are. I mean, it's speedy. You get text, you get colors, you get animation, and it snaps very nicely onto the case.
And here's
or
some
the board
photos
headers.
of the LCD.
Yeah, so it's 1.8 inch or 2 inch diameter, something like that, 2 inch diagonal, with a touchscreen controller built in, so you can have a touch interface, and of course 16-bit color pixels. I think 160 by 120 or so.
Yeah.
This is the TFT skin.
All right. Good work, Lady. And with that, new products. That was
Yes.
it. Good work.
And I do recommend, you want to add in as we leave new products, Damien George has done an amazing job with MicroPython.
Yep.
He's worked so hard on it for many years. People support his Kickstarters. If you like MicroPython, or if you like CircuitPython, which is based on MicroPython, please support Damien by picking up some of his awesome boards. This is how he funds the research and the work he's doing on MicroPython.
We donated to micropython.org, his company, and we also proudly stock his products, and we'll continue to do so.
You also have these badges.
The core of what CircuitPython is based off of is MicroPython.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Damien.
Yes.
And all the contributors.
Yes.
Okay, Lady Ada, we're going to do some top secret from the Adafruit Vault.
Okay, so you want to show this while I grab my thing?
Show what?
This.
Yeah,
Is
let's
this
show this. Yeah, so this is, she's gone.
No. I'll just go put this.
I really enjoyed our time together. Whoa, watch out. You're
Sorry.
on the phone cord.
Nothing.
Yeah. Right. So I'm going to go to the overhead. This is the DigiKey Circuit Playground Classic DigiKey Edition. These are the ones that we're giving away for the buy one, give one that we're doing with DigiKey and Girls Who Code.
Yes.
Ta-da!
More about that soon.
Yeah.
It's not yet, don't ask, but
All
you will be able to
Next up.
purchase one and give one at the same time. We also have this. It's not from us, but it's from someone who we work with, and I wanted to show it off. This is a preview of the ABC Basic Connections from Pig Hicks. Alberto Piganti, and he just does
The best diagrams on the web.
these really beautiful diagrams. Let's flip through it really fast because he's going to do a crowdfunding, and you can pick up one of these. But what's neat, so it's all done. It's not like, oh, like fund this and maybe I'll do all the work. He did all the work. These diagrams are just like so beautiful, and there's hundreds of them. From
Yeah,
push
I like that
buttons.
it's a 2-ring binder, so you can lay it flat on a desk.
Yeah, it's such a good, and it's got like the markings here. It's
Yeah.
so cool. I don't know what the
Beautiful
name of that.
design.
There's code that goes along with it. Covers almost every component. RC snubbers,
Yeah.
stepper motors. So this is really beautiful. I want to show this off. So we're not carrying this yet. Maybe we will when he's
Oh, but
completed.
we will.
But when you see this crowdfunding campaign, please support him because we work with him and he does an amazing job. And I think I got one. It's super cool.
All right.
This is beautiful and durable.
Back in the vault with you, secret stuff. Okay, Lady Ada, we're going to do some questions. Everyone post your
Yay,
questions
question
in
time.
the chat. We will get to them.
My favorite time.
Okay.
Whew, we had so much.
Lady Ada, is
Yes.
Python easy to learn? That was a question in chat.
That's a good question. Python, I think, is easier to learn than C or C++. I think if you're just starting, something like Scratch or Blockly is the easiest way to get started. But after you've had some experience with that, I think that Python is pretty easy to learn. It's very forgiving.
Yeah. There's a request. Blue and purple circuit playgrounds. Yes, we're going to have a bunch of different colors. We are.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's
So
a fact.
DigiKey Red, but
Oh, for the folks who wanted to know the discount code, it is L is for LED. That's the discount code. Okay. While designing the Metro and Feather, what are the key characteristics you always keep in mind?
For Feather, I always try to, I try to keep to the basics. It has USB, it has built-in battery charging. I like to use chips that are really interesting or that would benefit from having, portability. The idea of Feather is you can make it portable very easily. But the thing about Feather that I like the most is the cross compatibility. So once I've decided, okay, I want to make an ESP32 Feather, I then have to go through and test it against, the 50 Feather wings to make sure it works. Because I basically wanted to make a platform that was as cross compatible as possible. So that's kind of what I look for in Feather. In Metro, I sort of think about the projects that people build with a starter kit or with ArtX, and I try to think, okay, it's for people who want to plug things in with wires and use it with a breadboard.
Okay. Next up, I have an Adafruit trinket and want to use it for model rockets with an accelerometer and the servo motors to maintain straight flight. I also want to log the data. What do I need?
Trinket's tough. I don't know if you'll be able to do that with a trinket. It doesn't have a lot of memory for logging and for servo control and managing accelerometer. You might want to update to like a Teensy 3.2. That's about the same size as a trinket. It's like, under $20, and we'll definitely be able to do all the things you want. There's like little SD card add-ons for the Teensy, so you can do data logging to an SD card.
I want to build a thermostat with wall enclosure with Wi-Fi control. What controller should I use?
So the Wi-Fi...
A Wi-Fi temperature controller.
Temperature controller?
Yeah.
People would like the ESP8266 as a chipset. You'll have to figure out how to control your thermostat, whether it's a motor or sometimes it's a voltage. But I would go with a Wi-Fi microcontroller that's well known.
Okay. What microphone do you need to detect lightning?
Most people who detect lightning actually don't do it with a microphone. They do it, you can, but they do it with like an ionization detector because the air gets ionized right before a lightning strike or during a lightning strike. So that might be your best bet for just listening for a thunderclap. Any microscope will do it, but it's just tough. That's a very sharp spike.
Yeah, so you need a microphone that could detect that spike, and it could, and other things could detect it.
It's tough because it's like somebody slammed a door, or like you dropped your cat. That would also make a noise that would set it off. So that's why when people want to detect lightning, they look for these ionization. It emits. How does this ionization? Maybe it's like a radio frequency burst, basically.
I'll answer this one because I wrote an article about this a long time ago. Where do you think the Arduino concept and community is heading in the future? A million years ago, I wrote an article, and if you search for why Arduino won and why it's here to stay, I talked more about the concept of Arduino and why that is here to stay, the things that Arduino brought to the world.
Open source hardware. One of the first development boards was open source.
Yeah, the idea of shields and wings and all these things.
Having an open tool chain that was cross-platform.
Yeah, so I think take a look at that article because I even had Lady Ada help me with this. It's on Make Magazine. Explored, like, it doesn't really matter. Arduino isn't one person. It's a whole movement. It's a whole community. So the idea of this stuff being easy, that's here to stay.
It's only going to get easier. I don't see... I see the Arduino community as the essence of it is a disruption, right? To go into education and teaching people, trying to just make it easier and easier and easier.
Yeah. Next up, having fun with the Feather Huzzah, currently playing with the motor controller. Feather Wing, is it based off V1 or V2 of the motor shield?
V2. V1 is definitely dead in the water. It was designed specifically for like the 2009 Arduino and did not, depended on PWM pins and stuff. So we haven't made the V1 in like 6 years or something.
I have an atomic CSAC chip, puts out a 10 megahertz signal, and I want to drive LCD display with it. Would Adafruit's frequency splitter help?
Well, I mean, you can't drive the LCD with 10 megahertz. You have to drive the LCD with, like a data signal. You want to measure it. There are definitely, phase lock loop chips that will be able to tell you or like frequency to voltage converters or whatever. I would use one of those. 10 megahertz is pretty fast, but there are RF range chips that will be able to tell you the frequency, and then you would use a microcontroller to display that on LCD.
We do a learn guide for the Pimeroni speaker FAT. Pimeroni could...
They have a guide.
They have a guide, and if they ever want to put a guide on our site, they could do that too.
And they do have their own learning system, and they have their own excellent guides, so I would check that out.
Okay. My Weller died.
No.
Oh. What's a good recommendation?
Well, I like the Hacko FX 888s, though we stock those in the shop. Those are good. The Weller West D51s, if you're a Weller person. I don't know which one you had, but if you had like one of the red ones that are a little less expensive, upgrading to a Weller 51 is very fun.
Okay, in your NeoPixel Uber guide, you recommend using a 1000 microfarad 6.3 volt or higher capacitor to feather power. If you're only using a few NeoPixels, less than 20 can use a smaller capacitor.
Yeah, the capacitors, it's a rough guide. Those are mostly for the WS2812s, which we don't really use anymore. We actually use the SK model of NeoPixel, which doesn't need a capacitor as much, but it doesn't hurt. You should use whatever capacitor you need to get the results you want. Basically, some people were just they were seeing a flickering effect, or like an LED would stay on a certain color and wouldn't change. And sometimes there were little glitches in the power supply that would cause it, so a capacitor would help. If you don't need a capacitor, you don't need a capacitor. Starting off with 10 microfarad and then add more as needed.
Why are GSM breakouts so big? Because the GSM modules are so big. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever the module is.
Yep. Will you be carrying the hammer header females and male headers separately?
I think we will. I think right now we're just trying to carry the full kit because you kind of do need that plastic thingy.
Okay.
But yeah, probably.
Trent says SDR can detect lightning. And then, or you said that Radio Shack is going out of business. Radio Shack has gone out of business a couple times, so they'll be back. That's the way it always
They'll
works.
probably be back. This is like third time bankruptcy.
That's it. Those are the questions.
Great.
Good work, Lady Ada. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, don't forget, folks, the code. L is for LED. Now it is time to give something away. Lady Ada, we're going to give something away. It's kind of like a trivia contest because the trivia question is something any of you already know the answer to. The question will be...
Who can call first?
Where are you calling from?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with this prize that you're going to win? What are they going to win tonight?
I think we should give away a Pi board light.
A Pi board?
Yes, that's
okay.
P3497.
Okay. Well, the way it works is whoever calls the phone number first, and you tell us where you're calling from and more, wins.
Yes, you'll get
this
a
is the
Pi
phone
board.
number on Bitstab. Are you ready, Lady Ada?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's see how this goes.
Call.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out, by the way.
Your name, where you're calling from.
Yeah.
Please don't hang up on me.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Hello, you've reached Ask an Engineer. You're the winner. Please say your name and what. Why do they always hang up?
Because people get scared.
Oh, sorry.
They're shy. Okay, hang up. Let's see if it
No
rings
problem,
again.
No problem.
Own stab. Call and win.
Maybe get nervous. Don't be nervous. I'm not going to bite you. Okay.
We got another phone call.
Try again.
Yeah, try it out.
Hello, you have reached Ask an Engineer and you're the winner. Congratulations.
Baby.
Hello. What?
Won.
Yeah, you won. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Nick.
Hey,
and
Nick.
I'm calling from Plymouth, Michigan.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, Nick from Michigan. Thank you for calling.
Congrats,
You're
Nick.
going to win a pie board. Yeah,
Woo!
you're going to win a pie board. But do you have any projects that you're working on or something you want to build?
I am a recent AdaBox subscriber.
Okay.
Welcome.
So I'm trying to catch up.
Okay.
I have 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for 3. Hopefully you guys start carrying that.
Oh, soon. Stay tuned. It's in my inbox. We're going to send you a Pi board, which is a really great way to learn electronics with programming with Python. So it'll be a fun alternative for you because you've probably done a little bit of Arduino, and this is another way of doing some programming. But I'm excited. So all you have to do is email support@adafruit.com and say, hi, I'm Nick from Michigan, and I won a Pi board Lite. And then please give them the number 3497. That's the product ID. That just helps them so they get the right thing to you. And we'll send it to you right away.
All right, thank you so much. You guys are doing such a great job. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for calling, Nick. And,
Thank you.
Please keep watching, and I'll put the AdaBox 3 in for you this week or next week. Promise.
All right, for sure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. Woo!
Thank you, Nick.
That was fun.
Okay, Nick got some
worked out.
AdaBox. It's got a Pi board Lite. All you have to do is email, get it.
All right.
And next week we'll be giving away more stuff.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. If you didn't win, that's okay. You can call and leave a nice message for us. Don't forget, the phone number is OwnBitsDab. We play these nice messages at our all-company meeting called State of the Fruit, but you can still use the code. It's kind of like winning. That's the show for tonight, Lady Ada.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you, everyone. Adafruit team, all the remote team members, the team members here, our community, all the cool folks that are helping each other, and all the cool folks that are making things for other people that help each other. We will be here next week. Show and tell. Ask an Engineer. We'll have Deaths of Lady Adas and more. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And here's a picture of a cat. Meow. And here is your moment of Zener. Hi, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.